Hello and welcome to the channel. I'm going to be doing a series based around taking a budget guitar and turning it into a more high-end instrument by doing modifications you can do at home. Depending on how it goes, might go a bit further than that and put a little bit more money into it and see how close we can get it to a really high-end instrument. Just before I start, I just thought I'd go through what I've started with. The options really were between the Harley Bentons from Tommen, a second-hand Squire, and these EastCoast ST1s that are from Andertons. The video is not sponsored by any of those brands, but I think they're the best value for money at the moment. The reason I've chosen the East Coast is in a few parts really. Mainly over the Squire, I thought it was better because this has a full-size body, whereas the Squires generally have a 3/4 size body, which limits you with if you wanted to change anything about the tremolo system, because they're a thinner body and you can't get a full-size trem system in there, so they can be a bit awkward to work with. The reason I went with the East Coast over the Harley Benton was really just because it has a real rosewood fretboard rather than having a roseacre or laurel fretboard. That's just because I've worked with rosewood in the past. I think it's a higher quality wood than the others on the market, but as you'll see in the unboxing, which is what this episode is going to be all about, I was really impressed with the East Coast guitar. As I say, it's not sponsored. If I do get an affiliate link, I've applied for one, but I don't know if I'll get it or not. Then it will be in the box below. If not, I'll just put a link to this website because I think it is a great guitar for the money, and also came after having quite a thorough check and setup and was ready to use straight out of the box, which would be great for a first time guitar player. Get into the review now. You can see what I think of it. You can see it straight out of the box. Thanks for watching. If you could like, that would be great. It's one of my first videos, so it would be much appreciated. So this is what I've gone for. I've gone for the East Coast because for multiple reasons really. Main one being that it has a real rosewood fretboard. One thing you can't change on a guitar is you're not going to be able to change the wood. So I thought that was a big bonus of this. I'm hoping as well that it's a full size, full thickness body, so that I can put a different tremolo system on it, whereas the Squire doesn't have that. And just seem really good for the price. These are £89 brand new, where I was looking more at £80 for a Squire second hand, and with second hand, you could run into a whole load of problems. Just wanted to say on the postage, before I open the box, before we get into the unboxing, that Andertons were great. I ordered it on the Saturday, it came on the Monday morning. It was fantastic. There was plenty of communication over email, but I haven't opened the box yet. It's just been sat in the house for a little while, but I want to open it, find out what's inside, and see how it plays, how it looks. Just get it with the old Stanley knife. Okay, so it comes with a little film packing over it. Looks really well packed. It was actually in this box, then in a bigger box with plenty of packing around it. I'm going to show you that one on there. Just a little checklist. See that it's been checked, that it's been quality assured. Plastic band. Some tools, a tremolo arm. Yeah, I've got to say the packing job is quite superb. What I will do is, once I've got it out of the packaging, I'll get the box all moved away so you can see it, but there it is. What I would say about the colour straight away is it is more yellow than I expected, but I do really like it actually. It's a lovely sort of vintage colour. The pick guard is very white, not like a mint green. Rosewood fretboard looks great. Frets look sort of polished, not to a high polish. They're a little bit scratchy in places, but that's what you'd expect from a budget guitar. Just get the box away. So it's a screw-in tremolo arm, not a pop-in. Don't know if there is a little spring in there or not. I doubt that there is, so you might not get that quite adjustability. Might not sit where you want it to sit once you've screwed this in. But it sits very nice. It doesn't dangle down. It's set up as a block trem. It's not floating, so only down, no backwards action on it. We may change that in a future video. But actually, having a look at it briefly, I do really like it. Just go get this back out of the way. I've not had a play of it yet. I don't know if it's in tune. We'll have a quick look. Good job, me. Didn't scratch it. It has actually been sent in tune. The action is probably about bang on, actually. Quite a nice height for the action. The bridge looks good. Obviously, access through the back plate. The bridge is small. It's a very small block. So, not the smoothest of satin finishes that I've had on a neck before, but it's a playable finish. There's nothing wrong with the guitar as it is. The frets are actually pretty nice, well dressed, rounded. They are not sharp at all. We will be changing them just slightly, possibly give them a bit more of a rounding, but perfectly playable frets. I can run my hand up and down there. I'm not going to have a cut, I'm not going to have a mark or anything like that. As I did say though, they are quite scratchy. When we get a close-up in a minute, I'll see if I can get that noise on the camera. But they're not the smoothest. But, as I said, with the budget guitar, that's exactly what you'd expect. The nut is cut quite low, actually, about bang on though. Each string just about right, just a very small amount of play. After holding down on the 3rd fret, you can do the 4th fret as well. Yeah, just a small amount of play, possibly high on the A string. But we will be replacing that nut. I want a bone nut in it. We'll be replacing the bridge. Just a 6 screw bridge plate. I don't know if it fits exactly the same as a Strat. One of the other things I don't know is if the pick guard fits exactly the same as the Strat if I want to buy a pre-wired one, and just slot that on there with some custom shop pickups in it. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to cut again just slightly and compare it to my blue Mexican standard Strat that I've had for ages and I've done a lot of work to, just to check the thickness is what I'd expect it to be, so that we can put that full side bridge in. But actually, a very nice guitar, 2 little Strat buttons. But if I was getting this for a birthday present or for a youngster, I'd have no problem. You wouldn't even have to change anything about it. It's a lovely, well-made guitar. Nice colour as well. I like the yellow as it's turned out. Vintage white, I think they call it. But no, I like it. It's a nice colour. So just comparing it to my Strat then. This is a Fender standard Strat from, I believe, 2002. Mexican, great, plays great, love it. It's got custom shop pickups in it that I put in. But other than that, it's basically stock. It's also got locking tuners on the back and a bone nut in it. I think they're just the main things that I do to any guitar. These are actually really nice if you can get an older one like this, because it's got the full size trem block in it, not the thinner ones that they put on the newer Fender Mexican models, or at least some of the Fender Mexican models. What I did just look at briefly, the screw buttons, the screw holes are in a slightly different place on the East Coast compared to where they are on the Strat. So it's looking likely that I'll have to either refinish this pick guard. It's got just a bit of a peel on it that'll peel off and any dings will come out of it. which is quite nice. But use this pick guard and put the new pickups in it, which does limit us for the colours. I don't think you can buy these aftermarket, these sort of pick guards with the exact shape that the EastCoast will go, so it's got to be white on the pick guard. But I like the colour of the guitar, I've got no problem with that. I possibly will go to the cream coloured pickup covers rather than the white. The pickups on this as well are actually sat extremely high. I wouldn't normally have them that high on my Strat, but that is what it is, can easily be adjusted, and probably will be something I adjust straight away, possibly even before the demo, which will come in time. But what I am pleased to say is that thickness, exactly the same, body shape, exactly the same. You know, any aftermarket bridge that I want to put in it should be extremely similar. Now, just looking at it, it's probably not the exact position of the same screws. If we have to fill the screws and put them in slightly different places, I can do that. It's not the end of the world, but I like the design. Design of the headstock's nice. You know, adjustable through the neck there. It's a good weight. I did compare them just then. My Strat is slightly heavier. I don't know if that's because of the poplar body. I believe this is older, or the specific type of maple neck that they've got on there, the headstock shape, anything could be contributing to that. It might just be the block size for the tremolo. So, you know, it's slightly lighter the EastCoast, but a great little guitar. I'm very happy with it. I think with the changes that I'm hoping to make, can get up to that sort of custom shop standard. Working with these woods, I'm probably gonna have to sort something out with the neck. It's not as smooth, but it's a nice piece of maple, quite straight grained, as you see going up there. I doubt I'm going to have any problem with tuning stability. The tuners look like they've just got the one screw in there, so aftermarket you can get no ender locking tuners. Another change I will be making to this one, putting locking tuners on it. You know, bone nut, new bridge. It's going to play like a different guitar. But for now, very pleased with it. Last thing I'm going to do, just come in for a close up on these frets, run them through the fret rocker, see what the relief set out as well, and what the action set out. But very happy with it. Lovely size compared to the real Strat size. You know, very happy with it. Very pleased. So first thing I'm going to do is just check the relief. Got this just little straight edge with the markings there. Yeah, the relief set just a very small amount of a curve in the neck, just exactly how you'd set it up. I think that checklist has been followed to a T. I don't know if it says release on it. Action, electronics, hardware, intonation, playability. So it has been set up. It does look like the intonation's been changed from the factory. You know, it is definitely a playable guitar. We'll see how it sounds in a minute. But yeah, the relief set, lovely. I've got no issues with it. Just following on to that then, just go use a fret rocker. If you've never seen a fret rocker, just rock it up and down on the frets. Tells you if you've got a high fret somewhere, a low fret somewhere, just by making a little bit of a noise, but they're pretty good. Maybe a slight rock. Just work my way up the neck, checking it. You just rotate it every now and again. There's a little one there. Don't know if you can hear that. Yeah. As we're getting up the neck a bit, there's a couple of, well, that one's quite bad, so that one's quite high on the 13th fret there, so quite high there. But you can check these laterally as well. Just a little bit of a rock on everyone, nothing major, nothing that you'd necessarily do a whole refret for. I mean, that one's fine. Fine as we get further up, generally is the case. But yeah, just a couple of high frets, especially that one on the 13th, quite bad. But we'll knock that out. We will level and crown these frets make sure they're up to what I would expect the standard to be, just so we can get that action just a little bit lower, get away with some of that fret buzz. But no, it's a lovely guitar, exactly what I expected it to be. The rosewood fretboard that I didn't mention previously isn't quite as dark as my one. It's not quite as nice to the touch either, but I think it's just a little bit dry. You get some oil on that and just see what it shines up to. I'm also thinking of putting some relic wax on it just to make it a bit darker, a bit more of that classic Strat dark rosewood fretboard. But no, I'm very happy with it. Let's get into some sound tests and recording it on the amp. Just before that, I just wanted to bring it back just to show you some of that noise that you get when bending the strings. The frets, oh, that one's quite bad. You can just hear that. So it's just like very scratchy. They really need to polish, these frets do. They would play in over time, but oh, you really hear that one. The frets are just not very smooth. You get some put some T-cut on it, or I've got some fret rubbers and some of the Freen stuff from Music Nomad that I'm going to put on it, and that'll clean them up no problem. Like you can treat metal, polish it up, no problem. But yeah, a little bit disappointing. I'd say if you're doing anything with bends, that's not really very playable. It's not going to feel very nice. But you know, that's what you get. You pay £89. This was in the sale, £89, and that's exactly what you get. You know, you can't expect it to be the real deal. It's not going to be a custom shot straight out of the bat, but you know, you can make a few little changes, and it'll be there or thereabouts. Well, playability wise, it'll never have the resale value of one, but playability wise, you should be able to get it there. So I've got the guitar with me. It plays really good. I've been playing for about 2 weeks now. First thing I did notice about it was the frets aren't as tall as I'm used to, but it's fine. It plays great. The action is set slightly high for me. It's at 2mm. I did measure it. So yeah, but really good sort of quality assurance from Andertons in the fact that it was set up lovely straight out of the box. 2mm across all of the strings is a perfectly acceptable standard. It plays really well. It did have a struggle keeping in tune. I don't know if it's because it was new strings or whatever, but it plays really well now. I've not actually done anything to the setup. I enjoy playing it, and if I got this as the first guitar, I'd be very impressed with it. You can see actually on the fretboard, I don't know if you can see in the video, but where I play more often, it started to absorb some of the moisture from my hands because it was quite dry up here at the dusty end. It hasn't quite absorbed as much, but I think once I put some oil on it, it will come up lovely. But I'm just going to play a couple of clips now, going through each of the pickups with some just basic chord progressions, showing you what it sounds like. I'll do clean, then I'll do some more distorted. The distortion comes from classic DS1 distortion, and the whole time I've got some reverb on. It just comes from a Marshall Reflector pedal. I'll put links to everything in the description. I'm playing through a Hayden Mighty Mofo amplifier. It's a 5-watt tube amp. Sounds great, just little sort of bedroom practice amp. But yeah, have a listen, see what you think. I think it sounds great. The trem system I don't actually use very much. It is decked, but I don't really use it that much anyway. I'd probably just have the tremolo arm off for my own personal playing style, but it is there. When using it, the tuning can be a bit hit or miss, let's put it that way. But I'm sure we can change all that in the near future. So enjoy. Hope you enjoy the sound. Okay, so I'm just going to take you through all of the pickups on the guitar. I'll probably have to voice record over this because I don't think I'm being loud enough for the room mic to pick it up. So we'll start with the bridge.